Hey, family, and welcome back to Her Reality Check. I am your host, Madison Johnson, and you already know the tea. This podcast is all about love, the good, the bad, and the delusional. And yes, I've been that girl, and sometimes still am. But I stand on this: God did not create us to settle. So grab your wine, get comfy, and let's dive into today's reality check because, y'all, it is good. So the title of this episode is The Work Before the We. And I know y'all it sounds like we're finna be preaching because we are. And I want to discuss the importance of the isolation period and why it's important to build yourself, listen to this, before you can build with someone else. Period. So before we get into the tea, I want to introduce my fabulous special guests. I'm so excited for this. So our first guest is actually my cousin, Armani Lee. She is from Denver, Colorado. She graduated from Grambling State University. Go Tigers. She currently works in education as a STEAM teacher, right? And also has a clothing brand called, is it 1948? Is that how you say it?
Correct.
Where they create vintage women's clothing. So that's awesome. I love that. I want to talk about that a little bit later.
Okay.
And our other guest is actually a close friend of mine, Demetry Declouet. He's from Jeanerette, Louisiana, and he currently works as a management trainee at Enterprise. Is that correct? Management trainee. And he owns a clothing brand called Conscious Dreamers. And y'all, I kind of saw this from the beginning stages and how it just flourished on campus and just went global, really. It's just amazing to see.
Appreciate that.
And you're welcome. I invited them on because they're two people who don't shy away from hard work. So I'm excited to see what it looks like in this isolation period as we're all single, kind of working and building yourself up before you really just settle down and get into a relationship. So yeah, let's get started. Before we do, actually, I want to tell y'all the wine of the day. I'm actually super excited about this one because I tried it in college and it's the Stella Rose berry flavor. And I picked this one because I said in this season of singleness, it's very important to enjoy this time of self-development. So, period. I'm excited. So, the first question I have for y'all: what does a season of preparation look like for you?
Want to go first?
Sure, I'll go first. Really just tuning in and focusing in and finding really what you want to focus on. It's hard work, but I think as long as you focus and really, write down your plan, write down your goal, and stay just tuned to that, staying focused to that. I think that's very important.
Yeah.
And not getting sidetracked.
That's good. What about you? What do you think?
I agree a lot with Armani. Really, it's about having your plan and having a desire to carry out that plan no matter what. And backing the plan with a lot of persistence and work. And, having patience also, because it's no telling how long it might take you to achieve your goal. Because, the biggest failure is giving up right when you're before the goal.
That's good.
So-
That's so good. And I think too, when we do drops, our brand, and so sometimes a drop could take a preparation, a year of preparation, and that's okay because whatever you put out, you want it to be the best. So sometimes the longer you take on it, the better the outcome.
That's true. Yeah, I've been learning that since starting this podcast. People don't like to talk about that. Everything's not easy. In that season of preparation, sometimes it's really hard, and it's easy to get discouraged and let doubt set in. But it's important to kind of keep motivating yourself and keep pushing yourself to just really not give up. So
Yes,
that's good. So I want to kind of get into the relationship aspect of it a little bit. So why do you think it's important for a woman or a man to establish themselves before jumping into a relationship?
I think it's super important because for a woman, we have to be confident and we have to know our worth and we have to know ourselves. A lot of times when, we're trying to figure out who we are or we might be insecure, we find people that aren't for us. And if you know yourself and you know your worth and you set certain boundaries and standards for yourself and only, date people that you align with, I think that's very important.
What do you think?
I agree a lot with Armani, but from a man's point of view, it's very important for you to build yourself not only financially, but spiritually and mentally. Because not only are men know what we know what women, so with any woman we get to know, we have to really sit down and try to tell ourselves, okay, so this is gonna be a new experience for me. I have to open my mind to new things. It's gonna be some days I don't understand where she coming from, but we gotta compromise.
Yes.
That, and then the money is just, you
Yeah.
have to be able to take care of your woman sometimes.
Yeah, you do.
Because at the end of the day, we growing up, we gonna have to have kids. You can't take care of your woman before she have a kid. How you gonna take care of the kid?
Exactly. So do you all believe in like traditional values, like the man should be the one leading and like providing for the family? Do y'all believe in that?
I definitely do, because that's how I was raised. I think it has a lot to do with how you are raised and what you see in the environment that you are in. My whole life, I've always seen my dad or my grandfather take lead and have incredible work ethic. And when a man, I always say, you're either going to have a busy man or you're going to have a broke man. So which one do you want? And, you know, a lot of times as women, we can be clingy and we want that quality time. But when a man is in his grind mode, let him be in his grind mode, because his success is going to trickle on down to you.
That's true.
So that's very important.
So like, before I get your perspective, 'cause I think this is a good point to touch on. What do you feel like the woman's role is in like a relationship when it comes to a man? He's providing, he's leading, he's working, he's going out. What do you feel like the role is for the woman?
I feel like the role is a helpmate. And as times, and especially in our generation, you hear, I don't want to build with a man.
Yeah.
And that's different for every person. So for me, in my opinion, when the type of building I want to do with a man, you know, I want that plant to already be there. I just want to add water and the sun.
Yeah.
And I think that that's important. You know, he's already done the work. He's already gone out in the fields and bought the seed and planted the seed. And now it's my job to help that plant grow.
Yeah.
And so just being there for him, you know, a lot of times women, it's good for, you know, men to kind of maybe bring their colleague or coworker around them and just say, hey, you know, what kind of vibe do you get off of them? Because a woman's intuition is everything.
Yeah.
So just supporting them and, you know, just being a listening ear is very important, and understanding what season that they're in.
I think it's crazy because a lot of women now, because men have kind of taken a backseat, some men, not all men, in being a leader, women have to kind of step up and be that more dominant role. So a lot of women aren't able to kind of rest in their femininity anymore.
Right.
And I've noticed that. And so we have a rise in that feminist era. And I'm not saying have anything against feminists, but I've never just been hardcore like, oh, women this, women that, because I do feel like there are equal parts. Everyone has a role to play and a part to play. And I think we've kind of gotten off balance because the roles have been confused. But
Can I speak to that for a minute?
Yeah, go ahead.
Honestly, like in today's dating world, it is like that, and it's sad but true. Like, so a lot of women, they've been traumatized by past dudes who wasn't maybe like pulling their weight how they should be, and now they want to take on that role of being the self-sufficient woman. I don't need no one, but it also make y'all stubborn. Whereas when you do get a real man and he's a leader, someone with a plan, who see how, like she said, planted a seed, and all he needs is for you to help water it so it could grow. Oh, you want to take, like, you want to do what you want to do, and that's when y'all collide.
Have you experienced that before?
I just know, like, I'm just, yeah.
Because like the way you're speaking on, I'm like, that is true. Like, it is hard. I think we talked about it a little bit on the last episode I had. Micah mentioned how sometimes women have so much past trauma, they can't accept when real love does come. Like they don't see it like that.
Yes. And I feel like as women, when we, you know, go through a past, you know, bad relationship, when we leave that relationship, yes, heal, but also you need to change and you need to take accountability for the part that you played. You can't play victim. You have to say, okay, I ignored these red flags and I allowed this person to treat me this way for a long amount of time. So yes, heal, but also change and set new boundaries and standards for yourself. Because if you just heal and you don't change as a person, you're going to keep meeting the same type of person over and over again. And so it's good to self-reflect and take accountability first and then heal. You know, because a lot of women, they just heal. But then why do I keep meeting the same type of man? Because you have not set new standards and boundaries for yourself. And you haven't, you know, stayed the course.
And I'll piggyback a little bit off what you're saying. A lot of people say they want to heal. And so they say, okay, I'm just not going to talk to nobody. but you still doing the same things, having the same traits, the same bad
You have to
habits.
change.
You're not growing.
Right.
To take growth, it takes for you to actually have a plan for your spiritual and your physical. You're gonna do something different, and you need to change your mind and start thinking different.
Right.
Put positive things into your soul.
And you'll start attracting those type of people that you want to meet, and you change the way, you know, you dress. You might have to change the way you dress. You might have to change the places that you go to have fun. It's all about your environment as well. We tend to, and sometimes you have to let go of your type.
Yeah. Oh, that's,
you know,
that's a hard
one. Because
that's a hard one.
Sometimes our type aren't the people that want to settle down and have a long-term marriage, you know? And so that's important too, is really, like I said, once you change, your type will change.
Yeah.
It does.
Because the things that I know in college, the things that I once valued, maybe like freshman year, sophomore year, are not the things I value now at 23. I'm still young, but I've noticed like just the jump from 21 to 23, it's different now because you're now in a different phase of your life. Yeah, the college Madison was one way, but now as the adult, the one who's working, like learning about credit and financial literacy, all those things matter now. So
Your standards are different.
They're different. So now I need a man who can come with it. And I've always said this, like, I want a man who I feel like can teach me something, you know? Now, I don't like to, I feel like in my past relationships, my exes are going to see this, but I feel like I've had to kind of take more of a leadership role in it and kind of guiding it. I don't want to wear the pants in a relationship anymore. I want to be the one
who you shouldn't have to.
Yeah. Like, I want the man to be like, hey, at 7, I'm coming to pick you up. Like, wear something nice. I'll be there.
With a plan, a man with a plan.
Yes, like that's so important. So how would y'all? I just spoke a little bit about financial literacy. How would y'all define financial stability?
Basically,
you can go first.
Basically, financial stability to me is having a steady income and also knowing exactly how much output you're putting. So how much money you're spending per month. Like, it's simple to just sit down, look at your bank account, look at how many bills you're paying, and how much you spend a month, and then make a plan and see how much money you're going to make. Subtract how much money you're spending from how much you're making. That's what you have to work with in a month. Then plan on how you want to build from there to grow it more. It's pretty simple.
Okay. What do you think?
If you're like me and you're not that great with saving and finances, get an accountant. My uncle, he's amazing. He has like a whole spreadsheet for me, and
it's good.
It's great. And so I need to look at it all the time. So I know what's coming out, what's coming in. I know what to expect, and then when when things change, I can go in the sheet and I can change it. So just a lot of the time I feel like people just spend and they're not watching what they're spending. And sometimes we tend to spend more than what we're making. And so just being a visual person and paying attention to it.
Is when I was in school, I reference it a lot because it's just been a jump, but I used to feel like I had all the money in the world when I had $20 in my bank account. I was like, oh yeah, I can go here. Like, I have enough money to get into the party and I can get a daiquiri on my way home. Like, this is great. And then it's like the more money you start making, the more you start spending.
That's one thing I was just going to speak to that. I was thinking the whole time.
Like,
one thing our people really fall victim to is once we get close to stability, so we have a steady income coming in, we feel like we could spend more. Or like our life is leveling up to whereas we could have money for leisure, just to throw a little extra things that don't matter. And that's the main reason why our people don't achieve generational wealth. Because once we get to a certain number, we think it don't matter no more. But you're not thinking about your child you about to have. Why they can't have a plan or have a mountain to build off instead of having a little hill.
Yes. I love these like analogies. Generational wealth is big, and it's something that, especially like in the Black community, we can speak to that. It's not common that we see it. Like, we see other races always like supporting each other. But I know as a community, I want us to do better when it comes to financial literacy, managing money, and building that generational wealth. It's so important. So I do have a question. When it comes, you mentioned generational wealth and being able to provide and stuff for our family. You were mentioning like speaking in future terms. How do you feel about like 50-50 bills? Like, what do you want? And I'm curious because I have, let me tell you real quick why I'm asking this, because I was on the phone the other day with someone and he was saying like he wanted to put like when he moves out of his house, he wants to be paying a mortgage. Like he doesn't want to rent. He's ready to have a home. I said that's honorable. Like I like that. Like when you move out, you want to have your life established. He said I'm not trying to put down $10,000 deposit or down payment. I'm trying to put down 50, 60, like really lay a foundation. I'm like, that's really good. He was like, and I want the woman to come with about 10, 20 as well. I was like, oh, really? He was like, yeah, like I think she should. I said, come with 15, 20 what? He was like, oh, 1,000. I said, he's like, I want her to kind of contribute to that mortgage. I said, so do you feel like the man shouldn't be like the provider in that way? I said, I'm not saying I wouldn't provide because I told him, I said, I would never fully rely on a man when it comes to money. I'm always going to have something for myself. I'm never going to put all of my eggs in one basket, for lack of better words, like on a man, and he's my sole provider. I don't ever want to be in that situation where I feel stuck. I was like, I do feel like as the woman, I would be like, oh, I'll decorate the house. I'll pay for this. I'll do these things. But when it comes to bills, I expect you to take it. And he was like, oh, so you don't feel like the one? And then it was a back and forth.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to see y'all's perspective on when it comes to
Right.
50-50 and how you feel
I'll
bills.
piggyback directly off what you just said. Like,
Mhm.
I've literally had someone tell me that one time, like not that they didn't trust me or nothing, but they didn't want to put all their eggs in one basket and be
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm gonna just supply completely on Demetri.
Mhm.
And like, as a man, it's like you got to respect it because
Yeah.
honestly, I want you to be able to support yourself anyways.
Mhm.
But to the question,
Yeah.
it's really important. Wait, can you repeat it one time?
Yeah, I was saying, how do you feel about 50-50
Oh
and
yeah,
I mean, like with the bills and
I
stuff?
completely disagree.
Okay.
So when you were speaking about bringing 15,000 or 20,000, first of all, if it's my goal for me to get a home, I'm not even looking for you to contribute. This was already going to be completed by me.
Mm-hmm.
If it was planned by me, why should you have to come in and provide for my plan?
Yeah. Yes. That.
Now, when you come in, of course, I expect you to support me as a
Mhm.
woman should,
Mm-hmm. But
as you're capable.
yeah.
But that don't mean you don't have to come with like monetary like
Yeah.
things.
Mhm. And and a lot of men, I feel like, or women too, people think that it's like a financial thing, but it's a mindset. That man
Mhm.
has to have that mindset to want to provide, to
Mhm.
not want to do 50-50. That's
Mhm.
how he has to be raised, or that has to be it's a choice, you know?
Mhm.
And I think, I don't know if you guys remember that trend that was going on TikTok at the time, and they were, what were they saying? They were saying, I'm going to help you with the bills, this
Oh yeah.
month with their husband. And the husband was like, you've never paid bills. What do you mean you're going to help me with the
Yeah, I
mortgage
remember
this
that.
month? And you've seen people in mansions,
Mhm.
you've seen people middle class in homes, and you've seen people in small apartments. So
Mhm.
that just shows you it's a mindset thing. It's not always a money thing.
Mhm.
You don't have to always have a lot of money to provide.
Yeah.
In my experiences, I've had a lot of middle class men provide for me more than successful men,
Mhm.
and just it's like I said, it's a mindset thing, and that has to be something that they truly, want to do.
Mhm.
I think that it depends on your age as well, because if you are going to date in your younger 20s, you might have to build with that man,
Mhm.
and then I think that a lot of people have lost sight of, we're really not supposed to be dating until we are the best versions of ourselves.
Mhm.
And, when a man is the best version of himself, spiritually, mentally, financially, he's not going to ask for X, Y, and Z from you.
Yeah.
He's just going to want you to be that helpmate and be that support and be his peace. It is the man's job to provide the house, but as women, we make it the home.
Yeah.
We make sure that when he comes home, if he's taking care of the bills, that he's coming home to a home cooked meal.
Mhm.
He's coming home to the kids are asleep and to relax and to be at peace.
Mhm.
That is our job. So I feel like when the man understands the woman and the woman understands the man, and y'all know what to expect of each other and each other's
Preach.
duties and have that communication, it works.
Right.
Now, for some people, they want to go 50-50. I believe Gabrielle Union and her husband, they go 50-50.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So I think it's important to do what works
They
for
make a lot
you
of money.
and what
Yeah.
works for your relationship,
Mhm.
and that's important too.
I agree. I agree. I know some women want to go 50-50 because they want to feel like they're contributing. I think some women want to do it because they're so stuck in that role of feeling like they have to lead, not because they want to, but it's because that's what they're used to. It's a pattern. And sometimes you have to be able to break that pattern. And the man has to come in sometimes and be like, hey, I know this is what you're used to, but this is what we're doing now. Kind of shift that mindset, especially when you find a good woman who's been hurt and has gone through that. You want to kind of rebuild and be like, you know what, let me change your mindset. Let me switch this up for you and show you a different way.
Right.
So I'll just say this though, like my last add on, you find different ladies like in different eras of their life, like different phases. So like you said, someone might have had to do that their whole life or been doing it in the past. So she might be a little extra. So you have to tell her like, okay, you could really calm down. I have it.
Yeah.
Like I got it.
Yeah.
But you can meet a soulmate also who can match your hustle. Like Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle. Like I really admire that connection. I want someone who could match my hustle, match my mindset, spiritually, physically, and we both come together and like work as one.
Equally yoked. That's important. That's important. So my next question for y'all, because we kind of went through a lot of my didn't realize we're just talking. I love it. So do y'all feel like two people can grow together, or is it better to grow individually first? I know we kind of talked a little bit about how you need to build yourself up first, but do you feel like two people can grow together? Is that an option?
I do. I think two people really truly can grow together if they're both on the same, page and on the same time measurement. There might be a time where one person is running and one person is walking, and that is okay. And then it might switch. They might, you know what I mean? And so I think that as long as you are kind of on the same page or like the same pace, because not all growth is bad, some growth is good. And if y'all are growing together in positive growth, then that's amazing. And I think that everybody's journey is different. Just because that couple grew together doesn't mean that's going to be your, situation. So I just think it depends on the emotional awareness and each other's mindset.
I agree. What do you I'm gonna ask it again. Do you feel like two people can grow together, or do you think it's better to grow individually first?
That's a great question. So I've experienced both growth in a relationship, growth by myself. And honestly, growth by myself, just for me personally, feels like it's at an accelerator rate. So life is at like a crash course for me. So I'm experiencing lessons every day. Yeah. Because I got the freedom to do so.
When you're with someone else, you spend so much of your energy and time making sure that they're okay. You want to check in on them. Sometimes you forget to check in on yourself and you don't realize kind of, oh, let me take a step back. I'm not in a good place. And you don't even realize because your mind can get so clouded with your significant other. And I've had to learn that. I think when you talked about it earlier, we have to change our mindset. And I've had to take accountability for a lot of the things that I've done. I'm like, this was my fault in this way. Like I was wrong in doing this. I need to take a step back and do some self-reflection. Why do I keep making these same mistakes? Is it something with me? It was a hard lesson I had to learn my sophomore year of college. I got really, really down on myself, but that's where like God kind of came in and he did a shift in my mind. Like, okay, Madison, why do you keep doing these same things? Why do you keep making these same mistakes with these same guys? Why do you keep falling into the same pattern? And it was the lack of love and confidence I had within myself. And so you mentioned it earlier, the things that you search for and look for when you are like, what's the word?
Just down and not yourself.
Yeah, not yourself. When you're kind of lonely and feeling like you need somebody, feeling kind of needy, it's different than what you'll have when you are at your best self. Like when you go out, you know your worth and you know exactly who God created you to be. What you're going to attract is different. Who you're going to go after is different. So I feel like the people I was attracting in my life and the decisions I was making was a reflection of where I was in my life. And it wasn't a good place. And so I'm telling you, we were preaching today. I'm glad I'm not in that place
you found
anymore.
that revelation when you was alone.
Yes.
That's how it comes to you.
And God will put you in a situation where you have no choice but to rely on him. Like he'll set you apart so much. And it's like, okay, Madison, nobody else is going to be able to get you through this. So it's time to sit down.
Call on me.
Yes. And so that's really what he did. I was so down and I was like calling my mom. I was like, nobody can get me out of this. I had to really sit back, take some time and talk to God and get myself back together.
Right. And I think too, like when you're, and when you're growing apart, when you choose to go apart, sometimes I think it's important because when you're starting something or you're building something, at times you have to be selfish.
Yeah.
You have to make selfish decisions, and it's not good for the relationship, you know, and sometimes, you know, you have to separate and grow apart and make those selfish decisions. And then after it's all said and done, if it's meant to be, you'll come back together.
So do you believe in right person, wrong timing?
Yes, timing is everything as well, especially, you know, if you're grinding and, you know, you're trying to become the best version of yourself and work on a company or a brand. Yes, it can get lonely and very self-centered, and you can be selfish and you just don't have the availability and the person doesn't understand. That's why I think it's important to have a person that is emotionally mature to understand what your partner is going through. And like I said, like, you know, that person might be running and you might be walking, but if they hold their hand out and, you know, grab it and try to catch up to them and be there.
Yeah. So that's really good. I want to ask you a question, Demetry, specifically. Did in college, when you started your brand and it was getting big and it was a lot of chirping, a lot of chatter about conscious dreamers, did you feel like when it came to relationships, women were wanting to talk to you because they felt like, oh, he might have money or he's successful in this and this? Do you feel like women not pursuing you, but interested in you were ingenuine at points?
That's a great question. Honestly, I never really was like big on having a lot of women or, you know, being that type of guy in college. I was always goal driven. Like I had a relationship coming into college and that ended around, you know, a certain point freshman year, and build a little bit upon myself, then got into another one because like I'm big on something that's consistent and dependable.
So you're a relationship guy.
Yeah.
You like to be in a
Because
relationship.
I take risks all day, every day when I'm outside in my life. I'm trying to become rich. So when I come home,
you need the
I
consistency.
don't need to take no risk.
Yeah.
You
You need consistency.
I want to come home to something I know it's gonna be peace.
Yeah. You want someone that can be your peace. I like that. And I think as women, sometimes we have to take accountability. We sometimes aren't always a man's piece. And sometimes you have to sit back and be like, okay, let me just take a step back, because I know me, I'm always like, go, 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 go. And because I've been independent for so long, sometimes I'm like, oh, this. But sometimes it's like, okay, he's got it. Let me chill and relax. And I'm learning that. I'm learning it now.
Women have to listen, you know. When you have a good leader, and when you are when a good leader is with a good woman, a woman will naturally submit. You know, and a man is going to naturally lead, and a woman is going to naturally submit. And so when it's not that easy, it should be. You know, you got to notice those red flags right away, because it's not hard. It's not as hard as people make it out to be. So
I like that word, submit, and people look at it sometimes and are like, oh, I'm not submitting to a man, but this is how God designed it to be. If we do things how he designed it, the man will be the leader. He will lead, and the woman will be able to follow. And it's all under how God created it to be. So it'll be good. But now, since talked about it, the roles are all over the place. It's changed. But I'm hoping that as we continue to grow, specifically our generation, and we see things, we make changes. We make those necessary changes. So I have some more points I want to get to, because I do want to talk about more of your businesses and like what it takes to establish them. So you both have businesses. Can you tell me what it takes to start something like that and to allow it to flourish?
I think, well, I have a business, me and my cousin. We both started the business, and I would say for at least a year and a half, it was just like all talk. You know, we were talking about what we wanted to do and what we wanted to name it. And I think that was the hardest part, is just figuring out the name and figuring out our niche and what we wanted to do. Your plan. I think a lot of times, sometimes people just jump right into something and don't really have a legit plan and write everything out. And my cousin, she's so smart. Like, she got us a business plan and had our business plan, you know, looked over by a lawyer and everything. And so after everything, we had a plan, and we just went through a business, and they literally did everything for us. You know, our LLC, our EIN. I think I had given it to you as well before, but just figuring out what you want to do and how you want it to be presented is important. And it's hard and it's tough. But I think if you just push through and you really stay committed to it, it'll all work out.
I love that. So. That's good. What do you think? What did it take to establish your business?
So my business was a little different. So I built my business in 2020, 2021.
Okay.
I had caught COVID. It was my freshman year of college, I believe. Caught COVID. So at the time, COVID was big. So like, I didn't know whether I was gonna live or die. You know, it's all hype for real. But I basically wanted to leave something that could stay on Earth longer than myself, or like leave my footprint on the world. Because I realized like a lot of people live and go throughout life doing nothing.
Yeah.
Living for nothing.
Yeah.
So I wanted to attack every day from that moment with full purpose and attacking my purpose that God set me to do.
Do you feel like you found your purpose?
I feel like I'm moving in my purpose,
You're moving in
but I haven't found my ceiling. I haven't found my true, okay, that's what I want to do, so I'm going to go and do it. Right now, I just know I have a gift of gab, and I know how to get people to trust me, so I'm a salesman. So, you know, you find things in your niche where you can succeed, so you can always survive.
Yes. I think finding your niche is the hardest part.
Yeah.
You know, finding what you have a passion for, and like kind of just finding what you think your purpose is, you know, and it's all about just having faith and having prayer and like, okay, Lord, this is what I want to do, but this is what you want me to do as well. And so, I think too, like when you are starting a brand, like you talked about self-doubt, you know, and fear, we let like the mind is the strongest muscle, right? And you literally have to talk yourself up.
Yeah.
I tell people like, you know, you really have to sometimes stand in the mirror and talk yourself up and have affirmations and just be strong.
Yeah. It's definitely hard because even with this podcast, this is something that I feel like kind of God put on my heart, and I was like, okay, I'm kind of scared, but if this is what He wants me to do, He's gonna have His hand all over it. Like He's gonna make a way.
It's the thief of joy.
Yes, literally. And I was like, okay, God, I need signs. I need you to show me. Like I need little pieces of confirmation so I know I'm on the right path.
7 days I was in quarantine thinking like, man.
You were in quarantine for a week?
Yeah.
Oof.
Really, it was like 2 weeks. But the first 7, I was really sick. So like, I thought I could actually die. I was like, you know what? It don't matter no more what happened. Like, I'm going to chase my dream regardless.
You have to live every day like it's your last.
I created my clothing brand. Started from making the name Conscious Dreamers because I just want to be someone who's conscious of my end goal every day, even no matter where I'm at today. That's how you get to your end goal, by turning your dream into your reality.
I'm glad you mentioned that. I was literally going to ask y'all, how did y'all come up with the name? So that's really good. I love the idea behind that. You really do have to chase your dreams every day.
Treat every day like it's your last.
Literally. I didn't realize that till I started this. I was like, when I was running from Miss Grambling, I knew freshman year what my goal was. That was my dream, and I knew everything I needed to get to it. And since graduating college, I hadn't felt that again. Like, what is something that I'm so passionate about that I want to go after that hard? And then this podcast came to mind, and I see myself up late at night. Yes, I have work at 6 o'clock in the morning, but I'm like, I'm using my day job that I love to fund my passion and my goal and my purpose. Yeah. But how did you come up with your name?
So it's 1948 source. It took us forever. At the time, our grandfather was really sick. He passed away, but nobody even knows this. Before he passed away, he told me that he wanted me and my cousin to start some type of business together. Oh. And so that stayed with me, and I was like, what can we name? So he's actually born in 1948.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, a family relevance. So
that's tough.
That. That's nice.
Part of my reason why I go so hard also is because when I was in quarantine, the person taking care of me was my mom. And, you know, also my freshman year of college was when she passed away. And that was like my main role, dog. Like, I'm an only child. She was single most of the time, like bringing me up. So I was probably like 12, but like, it's me and her.
It sounds like hardships. Bring the best out of you. Just going through rough patches and hardships.
For the real ones, though, sometimes hardships could make other people bring them down.
Yeah.
But I made my hardship teach me a lesson forever to make me go harder, give me a reason, because I have somebody above, you know, watching me, expecting me to succeed.
Right.
Right.
That's
I'm gonna cry. I love that. Oh my gosh. So I have a few more questions. What do you think is the difference between patience and loneliness? What do you think is the difference?
Patience and loneliness.
I'll
That's
take
a
it.
good one. You could go
Yeah.
first.
So patience and loneliness. So right now, I'm being patient. I'm not lonely because patient is being by yourself but comfortable. Lonely is when you're by yourself but you're uncomfortable. You're yearning for a connection when you're like looking for it. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you're ready for it. Because if it means that much to you, you're most likely not ready for it because it's going to be an unhealthy connection when you do find someone.
Right.
So it's been very important that we be patient, especially when you're well, not lonely, but when you're solo, when you're single. Build upon yourself. Try to grow in some way.
Yeah.
It doesn't always have to be money. And money doesn't fix all problems. But you need to find some way to dedicate yourself to something bigger than yourself.
The sound bites on this episode are gonna be so good. Oh my gosh. Like I can already hear it. But that's so true. And the Bible talks about that, like be anxious for nothing, because God knows when you are anxious and like you're gonna do things out of like rash decisions. You have to be you have to be patient and take a step back. So I've had to learn patience. Like that's something I'm still working on. Be patient. Just wait. Give it time.
It's okay to be by yourself sometimes.
Yeah.
That means if you really need other people that much, you're attached to the world. You're already not living right.
Weak flesh too.
Exactly.
Yes.
For me, that's hard for me to answer because I'm the only child. So I always say I have only child syndrome. I love to be alone. I crave to be alone. But because when I know I'm alone, I'm in my deep thoughts. That's when I truly can, self-reflect. Yes. Take accountability. And that's when I'm most creative as well. I've noticed no distractions. So I love to be alone, probably too alone. My mom's always telling me like, oh, you might need to go get that look checked out, go to therapy because, you're going to have to be married and see your husband every day. I love to come home and just no one's home and I'm just to myself and by myself. And I think that's when I'm my strongest sometimes is when I'm alone.
That's good.
So
that's good. Yeah, you found that peace within yourself.
Yes.
I have a brother, but he was born maybe like 8 years. We're like a 7-year age gap. But
so you were kind of only child for a while.
Yes, I was, and I was okay with that. But I always had a problem with being alone. Like I never used to want to spend time by myself. Like I was so uncomfortable. That was also another lesson God taught me sophomore year. You feel like you always need to have somebody. You can't just sit. Like, why can't you just sit by yourself in your dorm room for more than 10 minutes without, let me call someone, or I want to be on the phone. Like, what is it that you're so uncomfortable with yourself that you can't spend a few hours alone without feeling weird? And I had to look at myself. Maybe I don't love myself like I thought I did. Like I've done all these things in college and I'm like,
and you would never find that out till you was alone.
Alone, yes.
That's how you know.
We have to take our time to ourselves.
When you genuinely love yourself, you want to be by yourself.
Yeah,
there's no one is gonna come in and make you change who you are, change your standard, and that's what people do. They try to, oh, those are your standards, those are your boundaries. That's silly. Well, so if you stay true to who you are and you know who you are, self-confidence is everything. And it's especially for women, because men can smell that. They can see when a woman is insecure. They can smell it. They can see when she doesn't have much worth. And, sometimes people tell me, oh, you seem very intimidating. No, I'm not just intimidating. I know who I am and what I want out of this life. And I'm not afraid to go get it. And I'm not afraid to be lonely or be by myself. So
that's good. And I'm learning that now. Now I value my alone time. I'm like, I like being by myself. Like I look forward to coming home, going in my room and relaxing just by myself, just with my thoughts. Let me go through my day and see what did I like, what did I not like, just to process your thoughts. I realized I never give myself a chance to process, reflect, which is why I probably kept making the same decisions that weren't good for me. But
I like alone time myself also, but sometimes I do want someone I could like bounce ideas off of. Just tell them, how my day went, the good, the bad.
the delusional.
Experience, exactly. Go experience some new things.
Yeah.
Take up a new subject we can learn together.
Yep. And some people think it's weird, but it's okay to talk to yourself.
Yeah.
I talk to myself a lot and have conversations with myself. And that's very helpful too. So
yeah. Once I stopped imagining arguments and like practicing those in the shower and started speaking positive things, my life changed a little bit. Yeah, I used to practice because like
you flashing.
If someone had
I forgot to say this, I should have said this.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that would have been good to say. Like, why did I think of that? Like, oh yeah, I've had those moments, and sometimes when I know I'm like, I want to make sure. Like if I ever did get into it with this person, like I say this because that was toxic. I shouldn't
Instead
be doing
of taking that time doing that by yourself, write some manifestations down.
Yeah.
Plan some goals.
Yeah.
You could plan how you're gonna never be in that situation, having to argue with that person.
That's right.
You know it's not even worth
that. It's not, and I've learned that like when people show me who they are, I just need to
recognize it at first and make your decision right there. The riskful decision, burn the bridge.
Yeah.
You don't need nobody in this world.
And I've also had to learn that sometimes that closure that I'm seeking, I might never get. I might never get that. So I need to have closure within myself. I need to forgive myself, forgive this person, because forgiveness isn't for the other person. It's for yourself. Because if you hold on to these grudges and you're mad, like you're going to become a hateful person. You're going to be a mean person.
That's
and
real.
It's just because you have so much hate and things you're holding on in your heart. You have to let that go and just be free and just live your life. I say live my life for God, because he truly will set you free from like your past traumas and dealings and things that have kind of hurt you. So
that's true.
I think I have like 2 more questions. So we've talked about a lot of things, but eventually, do y'all want to get married and have like a family? Yeah, we all want that. Yeah. So how will you know when it's time to settle down? And do you have like a timeline?
I think I don't mind telling my age. I'm 30. I just turned 30.
So young.
Thank you. I love being 30. I feel like I'm 18. But now that I'm 30, it's funny because when you're a kid, you're like, I'm going to be married by I'm 20. Yeah. And then when you turn 20, you're like, okay, I'm going to be married by I'm 30. Mm-hmm. But now that I'm 30, I'm like, I'm thinking 40 is a good age for me. I look young, so it doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. But I definitely want it. And I think that it's important for me to want who God wants for me. Mm-hmm. A lot of times we try to choose things and we choose surface things and earthly desires. We have our earthly desires, and we have to remember to pray to God and ask God, who do you want me to marry and what do you want for me? Because I know whatever you have in store for me, it's going to be a long, peaceful, happy marriage.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, they don't believe in marriage. They say marriage is a piece of paper. Well, so is everything else. A degree's a piece of paper. Mm-hmm.
But you got it.
Ticket is a piece of paper. That piece of paper is for commitment.
Yeah.
And it, it's to protect yourself. Mm-hmm. And definitely want to be married, but want to be married to the right person that God wants me to be married to. I think that is key, and that is important.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a timeline? Do you?
So currently I'm 22 right now.
Baby, young.
I'm young, but I'm a man who know what he wants.
Oh, okay.
I have my plan. I know my purpose, and I'm moving in it. Mm-hmm. But right now I'm just looking for more so like a partner who could grind with me. Mm-hmm. I want to see like that you chasing progress and you have a plan in your life as well. I mean, so I already know no one's probably going to be able to come into my life and input anything that's going to actually add to my plan. I'm not expecting you to come in and do that. Mm-hmm. But as long as you doing something for yourself and we here for each other when we need each other, that's all I can ask for.
And it's the thing, when you're praying for a spouse or a partner sent from God, all the things that you want and some, that's what he's going to give you. So you were saying like you're not expecting anyone to come in and add, but what God will give you is someone not only who can add to your life, but who can elevate it, who can give you ideas that you didn't even realize, and really help you grow to that next level. And you
I think I'm only going to find my niche like in older women, because in my mindset, I'm definitely not 22.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's important. Yeah. For me too, I think that, age doesn't really matter. It just depends on that person's mindset. Truly, a lot of women say, oh, I'm going to date, a 42-year-old. I want to date older men. But a lot of older men don't have the same mindset. I would honestly say, I don't know if you guys notice this, but the younger generation, they're getting to the bag.
Yeah.
They're not even going to college anymore. They're dropping out of high school. They're streaming. They're YouTubing. They're buying mansions for their parents at 20, 19, 18 years old.
Yeah. Brand scaling.
So it's about having ambition. I think a lot of women and men are missing the ambition, the drive, to get out there in the field. And what was I want to circle back to the question.
When will you know when it's time to settle down and like the timeline?
And that part, I think too, we put so much time on ourselves and, we're like, okay, I need to have a kid by this time, or I need to get married by this time, but it's okay. I think that everybody's journey is different, and you just have to have faith and trust God and continue to focus on self.
Yeah.
Because again, I want to meet a man that's up here. But what if I'm right here? So in that time, I want to try to become the best version of myself so that when we meet, we're the best versions of ourselves, and we're not looking for each other for money. We're not looking for each other for certain things. We both have it, and we can just focus on love and treating each other right. I think that that's important as well. I do think for a woman to be inspired and motivated, I feel like a man should have a little bit more than her. Y'all should be on the same page. I don't ever think a woman should date below, like equally yoked or higher, for sure. And for men too,
That part. That's very real. So like right now, just like that's why I didn't say any age limits, like marriage or commitment of any sort, because at this rate, it's all about who I come in contact with.
Yeah.
I'm not finding no one who I'm equally yoked with. It doesn't matter what the timeline is. I refuse to settle.
Yeah.
Because it ultimately, all settling will do for you is just be your demise.
Yeah.
You'll end up making decisions that's not like you. End up giving up on your plan. You're gonna mix up someone else's plan with your plan.
Yeah. Yeah. And I always say it's good to be equally yoked as well, but also it's good for sometimes your partner to be better at you in something, because if we're both good at making money and we're both good at communication, we might stay a little stagnant. I think sometimes a person might have to be a little bit better at the communication,
So there's room for growth.
There's room for growth.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, when sometimes, okay, we both have a job, we both have a car, and like, so what? Who's gonna elevate this relationship?
That's where you get to know someone, though.
Yeah.
You find out where they're low, and that's where you can build them up.
Yes.
And then you find out where the other person is lacking.
Yes.
You can help build them up. But it all take open-mindedness, though.
Yes.
Because you could try to help someone by telling them, hey, this what you're doing is not what you need, not what's up.
Yeah.
And they might take that the wrong way and not be open-minded, not receive it, and it's an argument.
Yeah.
Right. And we're all like, God put us on earth to help each other. We're all here to help each other. And I think a lot of people have lost sight of that. Like, we're all here to be used, but we're not here to be misused. You rub my back, I rub yours. It's okay to help each other and to help each other elevate. I think, especially as the Black community, we're so scared to help each other out.
Yeah.
It's like a crab barrel, and it's like, well, if I help them, they might, elevate more than me, do more than me. But
that's the problem.
It's okay, it's okay. Like, you're younger than me, and you brought me here today, and you started a podcast. You know what I mean? So it's important to just help each other and bring each other up, and not be selfish.
Yeah, because you learn when you're blessing others and your intentions are good, like your heart is in the right place, God is going to bless you. So you don't have to worry about, oh, this person's going to do this. God is going to bless your life. Like, you're going to be fine. Bless somebody else. Like, spread that love, and that joy and that peace, all the fruits of the Spirit that God has placed on your heart. Give that to somebody else. Like,
to build to that.
Yeah.
My philosophy on it is, if you help someone else achieve their dream, you'll find yours. So even if you don't know your purpose right now, if you give someone trust, maybe help them out, that don't mean you necessarily have to work hard.
Yeah.
But just giving somebody a helping hand,
yeah,
that'll go a long way. God see that. And then you'll find your own purpose just within that lesson they taught you from watching someone else, helping someone else, being a shoulder.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that quote from Maya Angelou is like, people are going to forget what you said, forget what you did, but they're not going to forget how you made them feel. Even the most minuscule things like can really change someone's life. That little push, you don't know what trajectory that could put them on. So that's really important. And you mentioned something, I'm going to try to think on it because I wanted to come back to it. But my last question, if you could give your younger self advice about single seasons, what would it be?
To take, like I said before, to take accountability and to self-reflect and not always play victim. And try to recognize those red flags sooner, have better discernment, I would say. And I'm a good energy reader, and I feel like as I get older, it gets stronger and stronger. That's why I'm really a homebody. It's hard for me to go out, to the club or big crowds because I pick up on all different types of energies. And right now I'm in a mode, like if your energy is not aligned with mine, I can't really be around it. So just protecting your peace, protecting my energy, I would tell my younger self, and to do the self-work.
That's good. Advice to your younger self?
Piggyback off of Armani directly. The protecting your energy. I'm just now realizing the purpose in that. Because when I'm by myself, I feel my greatest. I'm able to think the clearest, and everything is perfect. So my advice to the younger me would be just stay single, meet your baby. You could grow a lot faster, young man.
Yes, and
build on yourself, take some high income lessons, learn some skills you never had before, do some things you never did before.
And definitely stay single, please. It's just like we're in this like love apocalypse right now. Where I get it, everybody wants love. We all hate, we don't want to be alone. We want to, have that person to call. Everybody wants to feel wanted right now, but especially people who are in their young 20s and middle 20s, even like late 20s, like just focus on yourself and finding out who you are, because you're going to change so much. And you have to be able to meet somebody that's going to grow through you with your changes. Like I see those TikToks all the time where they're stopping old couples and they're like, how did y'all stay married for so long? And I remember this man, he was like, she's changed about 20 times since I've known her. I've just grown, obviously good changes, don't stay with someone where they're making bad growth changes, but just because we don't own anybody. Sometimes we think when we get into a relationship, you're mine, I own you. And you have to be able to, if you want a long-lasting marriage, they're going to make a lot of mistakes. And do you have the mental capacity to work through those mistakes with that person, especially if you're going to date young? A lot of young men, they're not going to just be able to sleep with one woman. It's impossible. So to me, for like a 21-year-old wanting that from another 20-year-old man doesn't make sense to me. You grow, have fun, be single, and see where life takes you.
I love that. Let me open the question because I gotta give advice to my younger self too. Don't be afraid of the single season. I think I used to really I told you I used to hate being alone. Like I didn't want to be single. I always wanted to have somebody, but that's a problem. That's a problem if you feel like you always need to be in a relationship. You always need to have somebody. Take that time alone, and the things that you will learn about yourself and learn ways you need to grow, it's incomparable. Like the growth that you will have in your single season is definitely necessary, and it's definitely needed. So that's the advice I would for sure give my younger self, and not be so quick to jump on the next thing. Like pray about everything, ask God to reveal, is this for me? Because I know sometimes when you hear about a good opportunity, you like want to walk through that door. Not every door that's opened is from God. Sometimes that's like a deterioration from the devil, and it's to stop you on your tracks because he knows the path that God has you on is going to take you places, and he's trying to come in any which way to sway you off your course. But stay focused, keep your eyes on God, and I think you will go far. Do y'all have any last?
I think we should toast up on that.
Oh yes. Cheers. Cheers to the single season. This is good. Period. I really love this episode.
I know, this was good.
This is good. This was fun. I was
also going to say too, like, don't be afraid to fail. Because sometimes failure can really just that was a different turn from God that you needed. He already knew you were going to fail in that season, you know, doing that particular thing. And sometimes that's a good thing.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I agree. Do you feel like you had any setbacks before that kind of pushed you forward when it came to your business and life, anything?
Setbacks, like, from life?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've had a lot of life stuff.
Yeah.
I never look at it as, like, setbacks. I always look at everything as lessons.
Yes.
So God has blessed me with a lot of lessons that most people haven't faced to where till they 40, 50. Those lessons have formed me into being the great young man I am today.
Period.
Yes.
No, that's right.
Love that.
Thank y'all so much for joining me. Like, this was really,
good.
really good. And thank y'all so much. When this episode drops, I want to hear your thoughts, like your opinions, comments, because this was good. And we're going to get into so many more conversations through this podcast that I feel like are going to allow us to all grow together. Like, even when I'm talking to y'all, like, I'm learning more things about myself. This is going to be a journey, Reality Check family. And I'm so excited for y'all to come on it with me. So be sure to tune into the next episode. Follow us on Instagram at Her Reality Check Podcast and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I just created it, y'all, and I've been trying to get subscribers, and it's
that's
fun.
exciting.
Subscribe.
I know you created a YouTube channel.
Yes, I'm gonna send y'all the link.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So yeah, I'm excited where this is gonna go, y'all, and this is great. I love you, and see you next time. Bye.